What's up guys, Houndish here, and today it's time for the reset. This Tuesday, January 13th of February in Destiny 2, and this week we've got the third weekly quest for Rivens Wishes. But on top of that, there is a game update this reset, so we'll do our best to cover any changes that Bungie published there, and on top of that, we've got the Eververse reset. As always, hopefully that'll be juicy, but we do know it will include a new Mass Effect bundle, so there is the new armor, and there's a free component to that. But additionally today we'll cover vendors like Banshee and Ada 1, as well as key rewards and unlocks for the week, farmable exotics, featured lost sectors, and plenty more in the video. So, as always guys, I hope this one is useful, and if you do enjoy it, be sure to get subscribed for more D2 content, and otherwise, let's get into it. And first up today, we do have patch notes, so the game's had an update, which is 7.342, partially probably to enable the Mass Effect bundle and stuff like that, but there are a couple of changes as well. So, for weapons, players can now reacquire the Chivalric Fire legendary sword from collections, and they say another fix will be implemented in a future update, so the weapon can be pulled from collections fully masterworked. Then for abilities in the Stormcaller Warlock, they fixed an issue where the Ball Lightning melee projectile could fail to spawn when activated immediately after cancelling a slide. Then in general, they adjusted the requirements for Rivens Wishes. That's an interesting one. And they fixed an issue as well where exotic armor pieces available as Rivens Wishes rewards would not show their base stats from collections. And finally, another issue where the Supernova Sprint Triumph would not unlock for players that completed the Star-Crossed exotic mission in less than 20 minutes. Not sure about the kind of requirement changes for Rivens Wishes, but potentially some of them have either been changed or made easier. We'll simply have to wait and see. And now, as we get into the game, Rivens Wishes 3 is available at Marasov right here. We can see we need to defeat combatants in Legendary or Master Lost sectors, and we get additional progress granted within the Dreaming City. Not sure if that objective has been updated versus what we've seen in the database previously, considering the patch notes that we had today. But we will see, and I guess in the database a little bit later on we'll be able to see if any of the other requirements have been updated. But I do have a guide sort of breaking down the requirements for Rivens Wishes 3 and a few tips that may be useful, so I'll link that below. Otherwise though, as we look to the Eververse store, we do get the new Mass Effect themed armor sets right here. So we can pick up the bundles for the armor, which are 2,000 silver in the store, but there is a free bundle right here that we're able to grab, which includes the exotic ship Sparrow and Ghost Shell, so you can take a better look at those in game, but definitely be sure to go ahead and grab that. There's also the exotic emote that we can see right there in the store, and the finisher as well, so if you're interested in those, definitely check in at Eververse. But otherwise, let's focus on the Bright Dust stuff as always, and initially on the front page, we've got the Glaive Mistake exotic emote, which is 3,250 Bright Dust, a kind of cool one right there that you might want to grab this week. And yes, we've just loaded into the tower. On top of that though, on the front page for 700 Bright Dust, we've got the Smooth Dance legendary emote available as well. And then there is the Crystalline Breakout Transmat effect, which is 450 Bright Dust right there. And for the front page shaders, initially we have Atlantic Rush, which is rather garish with this armor right here. These are 300 Bright Dust as always. And also on the front page, there is Gloam Strife, which is equally unusual on this armor, but let us know what you think below. For the main Bright Dust section this week though, initially, we've got the Magic Lamp exotic emote for 3,250 Bright Dust on the second page, so that's a pretty cool one from this season. Also, there is the Lagomorphia Lunaria, if I'm saying that correctly, for 3,250 Bright Dust as well, with a cool kind of rabbit right there, I guess. And then we've got the Let Me Tell Ya legendary emote here, which is a multiplayer emote. Pretty cool one as well, and that one is 1,250 Bright Dust. Then there is the Taurus Rocketeer exotic ship for 2,000 Bright Dust this week available in the store, so you can always grab that one. Additionally though, there is the Rabbit's Chase from back in Season of the Seraph, and this one's 2,500 Bright Dust. And yes, we do have the ornament right here for the Necrochasm, which I've yet to actually pick up inside of Destiny 2. This one is 1,250 Bright Dust, a Siva themed ornament. Certainly a very, very cool one. I'll have to grab that for when I finally can be bothered to finish the last steps of the quest. But also have the Spider Projection for 1,500 Bright Dust. As always, these things are pretty expensive. Glad to see the Necrochasm ornament though. But for the second page of featured shaders, we've got the Temperature Wash available right here. A kind of cool one for 300 Bright Dust once again. There's also the Chrome Stock available, which often comes up. And then the Golden Age Wine is also here as well. But finally, we've got the Tyrian Abyss, which is a pretty cool one from back in Season of the Haunted right there. So one I need to add to collections. But finally, for the Transmat effects, we've got the Cabal Shield Breaker for 450 Bright Dust right there. Additionally, the Champion Entrance Transmat effect is up this week as well, which is pretty cool. And very finally, we've got the Signal Intercept Transmat effect as well. So Let us know your thoughts on the Eververse inventory down below and anything you plan to grab this week. But for Banshee's featured weapons for today, we've got the Lunalata 4B, which has got well-rounded and successful warm-up. There's also the Iota Draconis fusion rifle with Feeding Frenzy and Harmony, and then the True Prophecy, which has got Grave Robber and Elemental Capacitor. Then we've got Disparity, which has got Outlaw and Frenzy, which might be a bit of fun, as well as the Code Duello with Impulse Amplifier and Chain Reaction. So let us know your thoughts on those, but keep in mind the weapons and roles will change throughout the course of the week. And finally, we have our weekly visit to Shader 1 down here in the annex. For the armor right here, we've got the Terra Concord set of gear. If you need to grab that or look at stat rolls, of course, you can check in on your characters. But for the featured shaders, initially, we've got Envious Touch, which is actually a kind of cool one right there. These are all 10,000 Glimmer. There's also the Mad Monk from back in the Warmind days available this week. And finally, we've got the War Cult Endgame. I feel like these are actually some shaders that Ada hasn't sold a whole bunch. Maybe I'm wrong, but a little bit different to what we normally see, so maybe some useful stuff for some folks. Up next though, for more rewards this week, the Nightfall weapon that's featured is the Braytech Osprey, and we've got Heist Battleground on the Moon as the featured Nightfall, so of course that one can be a little bit rough, especially as a Grandmaster, but the Adept variant of Braytech is there if you want to pick that up. And let us know in the comment section if you'll be running any Nightfalls this week. But for the Exotic Mission Rotator, we've got Dead Messenger and Season of the Risen weapons dropping from Vox Obscura this week, so a good one to farm if you need to pick up any of those items. But additionally, the featured raid and dungeon activities for this week include the Vow of Disciple, where we can pick up the Collective Obligation that's completely farmable from the final encounter, so it's a good time to dive in. But also we have the Prophecy Dungeon, with the legendary rewards for that being farmable as well. Our final mention though for the Lost Sectors, of course some of these are useful for Rivens Wishes 3 this week, and today we've got Aphelios Rest in the Dreaming City dropping exotic helmets. Wednesday, February 14th will be Bay of Drowned Wishes in the Dreaming City dropping exotic legs, and then February 15th is Chamber of Starlight dropping exotic arms, so the first 3 days of the week do have Dreaming City featured Lost Sectors, which are grant bonus progress for the Rivens Wish quest this week when you're getting enemy kills, so keep that in mind. And then February 16th and beyond is Perdition on Europa dropping exotic chest pieces, the 17th will be Bunkery 15 dropping exotic helmets, and then we'll get Concealed Void on February 18th dropping exotic legs, but the final Lost Sector is Thrilladrome on Neomuna for February 19th, which will be dropping exotic gauntlets. And so for today guys, that's everything we have to round up for the reset video today. If you've enjoyed this one, a rating below really helps us out on the channel. Also let us know if you'll be diving into Destiny 2, picking up any of the bundles like the N7 stuff, or going after those enemy kills for Rivens Wishes. Otherwise though, I appreciate you tuning in as always, and whatever you get up to, I hope you guys have an awesome day.